In 2003, a horrific event gripped England for 5 agonizing years. 17-year-old Hannah Foster vanished while walking home, just a half-mile from her doorstep. Her belongings and phone surfaced in a different city, adding another layer of mystery. Weeks later, the grim truth emerged, propelling the case onto the international stage. Hannah Foster was born on August 31, 1985 in Southampton, UK. She lived with her mother Hilary, father Trevor, and older sister Sarah. At school, Hannah was an excellent student and planned to go to medical school after graduation. On March 14, 2003, the girl went to meet her friend. They visited 2 local pubs and decided to go home around 10:30 p.m. Hannah walked her friend to the bus stop and waited for her bus. It was less than a kilometer home, so she decided to walk. Early in the morning, her mother started getting ready for work and realized that her daughter had not come home. Hilary sent several text messages and called, but Hannah did not answer the phone. A few hours later, at 10:30 a.m., the parents called the police. The police immediately started searching and first looked at the video camera footage. At 10:43 p.m., the camera recorded Hannah and her friend walking to the bus stop. They tried to track the location of the girl's phone using cell towers, but at that time, this data was inaccurate. They determined that the phone was in the city of Portsmouth, a 30-minute drive from Southampton. Soon, Hannah's bag and phone were found in a dumpster in Portsmouth. After examining the information from the phone, detectives learned that the girl had called the emergency services at around 11 p.m. The recording could hear distant voices. The operator decided that the emergency number was dialed by accident. She switched the call to a voice assistant which said, "If you need help, press 2 digits 5, but Hannah did nothing. The call recording was sent for examination. Experts determined that the girl was in a large vehicle, presumably a van. One voice belonged to a man with an Asian accent. On March 16, 2003, a 14-year-old boy found the girl's body on the side of the road. It was Hannah. The parents were in shock and could not believe what had happened. Their daughter was kidnapped 800 meters from home. The girl was abused. The cause of death was strangulation. The perpetrator's DNA was sent for examination, but no matches were found in the database. The investigators did not have any serious leads, so they decided to pass all the information to the British TV channel BBC News to cover this crime in front of the public. The detectives hoped to find new witnesses. The program about Hannah's unsolved case aired on March 26th. The next day, a man named James Dennis told police he was the manager of a food delivery company. One of his employees drives such a van and speaks with an Asian accent. The driver turned out to be a 40-year-old migrant from India, Maninder Kohli. The man came to the UK in 1993. He was married and had 2 children. On March 14th, Kohli did not leave the van in the service parking lot and drove it home. The next day, he worked until lunchtime and asked to be excused due to poor health, as his back was hurting badly. On that day, the manager noticed fresh scratches on his face. The van was confiscated and the perpetrator's DNA was found, but there was not enough material to match the sample found on the victim's body. The police went to Kohli's house. The man was absent, so they took DNA from one of his sons. The DNA eventually matched. Kohli was declared wanted, and relatives and friends were questioned. An acquaintance said that on March 15th, Coley tearfully asked him to lend him money for a plane ticket to India to visit his sick mother. The man refused him. On March 18th, Coley was seen on cameras at the bus station, where he bought a ticket to the airport. Upon arrival, he took a ticket to Delhi and flew away on the first flight. On April 3, 2003, the police obtained an international arrest warrant for Coley. In India, local authorities searched his father's house, but Coley was not there. The father said that he would not help the criminal, even though he was his son. Coley could not be found for a year. Many began to think that he would be able to avoid punishment. Southampton Police Department offered a £60,000 reward for information on Coley's whereabouts. One of the Indian taxi drivers said that he had driven a similar man several times. The man said that he works in the UK and flew to India for the holiday. On July 15th, Coley was arrested. During this time, he managed to change his name and get married. Before his arrest, the man tried to escape to Nepal with his new wife. Coley confessed to the crime on camera. He said that he had been drinking heavily at the bar that night, and when he decided to go home, he noticed Hannah. After waiting for the street to be empty, he drove up and dragged her into the car. At this point, a problem arose. The Indian authorities were in no hurry to extradite Coley. The fight for the extradition of the criminal lasted 3 years. Hannah's parents vowed that they would not rest until he was punished according to the laws of England. On July 28, 2007, he was finally extradited to the UK. Despite the existing confession tape, he began to deny everything, citing the fact that the Indian police had put pressure on him. There was enough evidence for the prosecution, so on November 25, 2008, Coley was found guilty and sentenced to 24 years in prison. He will not be eligible for parole until he is 63 years old. The parents waited 5 years for justice, but for an Indian migrant, an English prison is hardly a severe punishment. Most prisons in the UK are clean, well-fed, and have comfortable cells. Thank you for watching.